Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2017. I'm into week 35 of the competition. This promotion relegation system continues on. This is the first year that I'm not going to be promoted in a long time. Just missing out last slot. Turns out I actually did get some postseason play, and I'm still technically in the same year as where we just left off in the last episode. Last week we made it to the CIT tournament. We did manage to get a win against North Fairfield, but in the second round we lost to Alabama Birmingham, who's quite a few divisions above us. And we were on the road for that game. It says versus, but it was a road game. Developments in recruiting. Ansley still hasn't signed with anyone, so there's a chance that he might end up having to go to junior college. We'll see. Don't know. Or we won't see, actually. Unless he signs with someone this season, so I won't be tracking him afterwards. I was targeting Smith and Graves. We had a contact period, and at the final date of that contact period, which was just the last couple days, Smith has signed with us. So the number 141 recruit, Chris Smith, out of Salem, Oregon, the point guard, is coming to us. So we have two guards and a small forward coming now. What we lack is any post player. Graves, meanwhile, we stayed at number 10 on his list and didn't move up at all. And each visit, 2 visits to him and 1 visit to the school, all 3 of them, he said, I can't see myself playing for you. And we were number 10 going in, and after each one, we remained number 10 on his list. And so I just revoked his scholarship offer and gave it to McCamey. McCamey's not that great of a player, but at least he's a B overall, but not a very good defender. And that really bothers me that he's not a very good defender, as that's something I care a lot about. But with the only other post player was our previous scholarship offer of Jones, that's all I can do. So McCamey gets the offer. We were already number 3. I did do a couple visits to his home, and we jumped up the list from 9 or 10 to number 3. He is a 7-footer, but he's not good at rebounding. So, what's the point? He's at least top 4 recruit, good GPA, but I never see him being more than a role player for us. All right, let's finish this season up. I haven't even seen the tournament, so let's see how the NCAA is looking. And it looks like we are down to the finals, and it's UConn and Providence, the number 1 and number 3 ranked teams in the nation. The only 2 teams with fewer than 5 losses, it appears. UConn knocked off Oklahoma, while Providence knocked off Arizona. All 4 number 1 seeds made it to the Final Four. Right here.
You have new mail.
And Providence. Providence is the winner, 79-66. Congratulations, the underdog. The small guy managed to get the win. Right. And I'm doing things a little different this offseason by starting here, catching the very end of the season so you can see the beginning of the offseason instead of kind of the later half like I normally do. Give you some different eyes to what goes on over the course of a season in this game. And I tend to go straight to my conference as I am out of contention for the big awards. I go straight to these. So, Player of the Year, Marquise Archery out of Emmitsburg. Freshman of the Year, Alcorn State's Anthony Dondon. Boy, he must have been really good because they were really bad. Defensive Player of the Year, Daryl Erskine. That's the first time I've won Defensive Player of the Year. Daryl Erskine had 10.9 points per game, 4.8 assists per game, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, and nearly 1 block per game. Congratulations. Coach of the Year, definitely not me this year. South Philly's coach, James Moore. First team all-conference. I doubt I have anyone in there. I might just have somebody in the second team. Probably not, though. This was a rough season for us. No, Erskine did make it. So, Alfred Williams. Anthony Dondon made it. So, Daryl Erskine makes second team all-conference. He's also graduating, so he will be moving on. Final record on the year was 16-15, so he at least managed to stay above 500.
You have new man.
But that was a pretty rough season. Definitely hoping that next season looks better. And Winston McCamey has made his decision. He will be coming to the school, so that's a relief. We were able to sign Winston McCamey, even though he's not that great of a player. So we succeeded in one goal, but we did not win the conference tournament. And as always, I will not be looking into a new position, and nor will I be looking for coaches. Bolton now has 1 year left. This is already just updated, so he was at 2 years. I've got 4 years left on my deal. But this is the job board, so these are schools that potentially are hiring, and this is the interest level kind of on what position. So quite a few head coaches and lots of first assistants out there would be where they would want me at. And there's that prestige level. So yeah, a 5 is quite low. A 60 is pretty good. And there you go. Arizona, first assistant, a 91. That would be a huge job, a huge position.
You have new man. You have new man.
Okay, Chris Smith signs his letter of intent, as does McCamey. And we now go into staff hiring. And here's where that option comes up. I have no jobs to offer, so I can't run offers. There's nothing to participate in. But you can see which positions. First assistant runs practice. Second assistant is recruiting. Third assistant is scouting. You can organize by their ability. You can see I'm still, in terms of reputation, not getting after players that are, or coaches that are terribly balanced. This guy there, Hoiberg's okay. Probably not going to find much better than that. Recruiting, though, wow, starting to get up there. There's a 64. 41 in recruiting, or in scouting. This guy is pretty balanced. And then that player development. So it's difficult for me to find much quality there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and advance out of this. With no vacancies, it goes through the day-by-day process of this.
You have new mail.
I just noticed that Erskine was the conference leader in assists. And Tahid was third in blocks. Alright, time for the meeting with the board. So this is yearly. The school's board of directors is looking forward to meeting with you. It's an opportunity for you to request an increase in one of the 3 options below. There's no guarantee that the board will accept your request, however. It is also the final week of recruiting, so get out there and make sure we get the best recruits we can. Recruiting will be run when you choose one of the options below. I am done with recruiting, so no worries there. I'm ready to move on from that. These are the 3 options. So time, meaning a contract extension, budget, or facilities. I do not worry about time at all. It's never an option for me because when I set this game up, I set up that I could not be fired. I had every intention of staying with this team on a permanent basis and taking them all the way through the series, and so I turned off that part, so I could not be fired. Beyond that, the others very much matter, and we started from the very bottom, making this a quite challenging playthrough, and it continues to be challenging. And honestly, it was good to have a break in the promotion streak. I think it ended at 5 or 6 years. So it's facilities or budget. And last year, I managed to get a facilities upgrade, our second since the series started, and I've only had a single budget increase, so I will be trying for that until I can grab a budget increase. And after a stagnating year, staying in conference, I would imagine we're not going to get it. But we might. I certainly hope we do. No, request denied. So request was denied. End of season. That's it. We're ready to move on to the next year. Budget will remain the same, which means it will remain tight. Because I spent a lot more on my last couple coaches to get some better coaches so that I could get some better recruits, improve players a bit better, and it's already showing as I was able to grab 3 top players, 4 really, if you count the fact that I did manage to grab Ansley, who was in the top 30, top 39, 40, so top 40. He just didn't end up qualifying. Now we are officially leaving the 2029 season, or 28-29 season, and heading into the 29-30 season. We're still definitely in the off season though, so we've got a long ways to go. But looking at the team leaders from this last year, outside of Erskine, Gaines, Tahid are both back, so a lot of our team leaders remain with the team, which is why I'm pretty confident that we will be in better shape this year than last. And if we just missed promotion last year, despite heavy struggles, I think we will be in good shape to earn promotion this season, because we won't have to improve by much to do that. Alright, here we go. So the season's loaded up. We start off with the budget. It's at $137,000. And we'll have 3 scholarships to offer this year. Scheduling notice and purchasing of scouting reports. Let's go ahead and get right into the scouting reports. My team budget after the coaches' salaries. This is why it's been a bit of a struggle. There's not much to work with there. I haven't had any budget the last couple of years, and I'm going to go ahead and stick with that because this last season I was literally down to a few $100s, and the season before that I was down to essentially nothing at the end, so I needed every penny I could get. So no packages this year. Okay, transfers. No! Oh, no. So we struggle for the first time in many, many seasons. And for the first time in the history of this game, for me, I'm losing a player to transfer. And Delia, I had really high hopes for him. I figured for sure he'd be instant starter this year. And be a starter for 3 years. I mean, he was... I'm assuming that means I now have a slot. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. That's probably going to quit the game, isn't it? It most certainly did. I'll see you back in a minute here. Okay, so I'm back. Luckily, the autosave put me almost in the exact same position, and the same results came out from where I was. Delia has still transferred, so that was already something he had opted into there. They say overall he's an F, and that kind of gives me a baseline for comparison. He's not too bad of a player. He's a much better player. See, defense is 28. Delia's 37. Not a great scorer, but he was an okay scorer. I mean, look, he only played 8.7 minutes per game, 3.1 points per game. So his stats weren't that great, but I really expected him to be a big contributor this year. If I can order these guys. There's a good defender. Oh, these are power forwards. Ugh, GPA 1.5. Here's a GPA of 2.5. From Delaware. He was already playing 26 minutes per game. Not putting up big numbers. But he's definitely capable of scoring. Can handle the ball pretty well. Not good defender, but not a terrible defender. Compared to these other guys. But if he's a junior this coming year, it means I'm only going to get him for one season. Best rebounder by far. Offensive or defensive. Best at blocking. Second best at steals. His athleticism is low, but I share minutes anyway, so that one doesn't bother me too much. Okay defender. Not good on free throws, but handles the ball okay. Passes okay. And capable of scoring some. I mean, he was getting 26 minutes a game. And then these guys are all just unknowns to me. I mean, you should be able to get a takeaway from their stat line. Kansas State 3.5 GPA. That's a good stat line. 24 minutes a game, but he's a point guard. I don't need a point guard. Now, Jenkins is only a sophomore. With a good GPA. Why'd I go with contact? Why don't we try ordering it this way? How about GPA? Who's smart and plays okay, like this guy. Look at that. Donovan, 3.8 GPA. I'm not sure. Lamar. But he was getting 28 minutes per game. 19 points per game. Six rebounds a game. 7'1" center. We're going to make an offer. Can I also contact him? Alright, I think just those two.
You have new mail.
Players transferring. Nobody so far. Let's see, they were both up here on the stat sheets. So Donovan, it's actually just a D overall. Defense, okay, he's not as good as Mallet in any way, except for he's better athletically. So switch to Mallet. We'll make contact, we'll make an offer. We'll continue to make contact here. And I don't know if the OLD is supposed to be me. So let's go ahead and make contact anyway. I don't think I'm in need of a small forward right now. Go ahead and advance. We don't have a ton of money to spend anyway. Players transferring. Yeah, OLD, Old Dominion, that's Kind of figure that's who that is and not me. Don't see our name on the list. I had no idea if those two guys are still available or not. Neither of them are. They're both gone. Cal, Washington, that's... We'll make contact here just to see. Delia's gone. Let's see. Robinson, no, GPA is way too low.
You have new mail.
Okay, I want to look back at this one and see. Delia. Where'd you go? Where'd you leave us for? Don't see him. Did he go the time before? No. Mallet went to North Fairfield, who we beat in the CIT. There's Telia. Idaho State. Okay, I think I might be... just about done and saving that scholarship for this next year. There's no one jumping out at me as someone that I want to spend some money on.
You have new mail.
So I'm going to go ahead and skip the final sessions.
You have new mail.
And we're going to move on.
You have new mail.
Okay, setting up summer travel. These are the different camps that we can attend and get a look at quite a few players. But again, budget tight, can't afford it. If anything, we'd go to the Las Vegas review. You know, screw it. Let's go. Just gonna have to be really careful with that budget this season.
You have new mail.
Alright, here's the draft. Point guard out of UConn went first. Two players from Arizona round out the top three. And I still have yet to land anyone in the draft. And here we go. Recruiting begins. The real work. But first, before we can jump into recruiting, gotta know what to recruit. So this is always where I take my first look at the roster. I have 3 walk-ons right now with that extra scholarship available. Of those, Daryl Dixon's a senior, so he'll be heading out. So I'll be hanging on to Llewellyn, Curtis, and Scott Martin next year without an additional walk-on. Almost certainly, as that seems to be the pattern. They don't get replaced year by year. And just a quick glance, I have 4 point guards. Gaines, the only upperclassman. And then I have 2 shooting guards, both walk-ons. So the point guards will be sharing the load at both guard positions. I've got 3 small forwards. Ryan Driver, the senior, still just a 1.5 GPA, which means I've got 2 freshmen to play small forward. Maybe this isn't my bounce back year. It might take 1 more. After losing Delia, especially. Gosh, that hurt. Floyd and Tahid are my only power forwards. Tahid's a senior this year. Put up some pretty good numbers as our 6th or 8th man, something like that. And then at the center position, all underclassmen, but a couple sophomores and a couple freshmen, 1 true freshman in McCamey, who will almost certainly be redshirting on the year. But a quick glance at the ratings to see. This is always only a small indication. Ryan Driver, best player on the team, and ineligible to play at all this season. Tahid's going to step up to be the team leader, and Wise, so I've got a good post combo. Forney and Gaines, so true freshman Forney coming in, 2 stars. We'll be splitting duty at point guard and shooting guard. Paul Floyd will be our top backup, and I have no small forwards. Small comes in just as a 1 star, really? Man. McCamey, not surprised that he's just seen as a 1 star, but. And then 3 walk-ons. Boy, this is the worst the team has looked since I first started this game. Even though I've had some bigger recruits coming in. I mean, Chris Smith, great potential, 4.5. But will he live up to it? My coaching staff, not that good. Facilities, not that good. Speaking of, let's take a look at our staff. I do continue to improve. I'm in 85 in recruiting, 81 offense, defense, and player development. Scouting picked up 1 point. I'm at a 36. Morrissey. Bolton improved a little bit, as did Jamal Rivers. He continues to improve. I'm liking this Jamal Rivers, and on a low salary. Bolton, meanwhile, overpaid, and I tried to offer him something earlier. He wants to be promoted to a higher assistant. That's still the case. That's not happening when you've already got someone here. And practice, player development. Anyway. So back to the roster. I have a point guard going out, but I have 3 guys behind him, all within a year of each other, underclassmen. So I do not need, especially when Chris Smith is going to probably redshirt, but I'll deal with that later. So that'll give me a junior, a sophomore, and a redshirt freshman for next year. So don't need a point guard. And I'll have 4 scholarships now, because I already have one with the vacay of Delia. And then that makes 2. He's a walk-on. That's not a scholarship. Driver makes 3, which is good because that's a useless spot. And Tahid makes 4. So yes, I have 4 vacancies, and I don't need a point guard. I have no shooting guards that are on scholarship, so I absolutely need a shooting guard. Number 1 priority. I absolutely need a small forward. Because I only have 2. And even though that'll make a small gap between them, I still need one. And then I'll definitely need a power forward, as I'm only going to have 1 left, and he's going to be a junior, so that's going to be the perfect time to bring someone in. So that's not massive priority, but it's big priority. And then center. I don't... Cammy's going to redshirt. And I'll still have 4 next year. So I don't need a center. Really don't. And then I have 1 remaining. Maybe 2 shooting guards. Probably going to be the way to go. Alright, with that decision made, I wouldn't be opposed to recruiting just about any position, though. However, I don't want 5 seniors on the squad, and that's exactly what I'll have if I recruit another. So no. No center. It's not the end of the world if I end up with a point guard, but no center. Because Gaines is at least going out, so we'll only have 3 guys left. I don't want 5 at a position. That's just too much. Much too much. Okay, recruit. Nobody shows up on the list because, well, there's nobody on the list yet. Let's go with those who have interest in C. Nothing. Nobody has interest? Really? We've got 1 down year and suddenly we're a nobody? Jeez. I'm still a good recruiter. I should be able to get some players in. Okay, no center whatsoever. So we're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to see everybody out there who's not a center. And then I will go with my format that I started this last year. We're going to go to the west. There it is. And we're going to go for anybody in the top 350 rankings to start out with. And we're going to put them on our list. 391, 1184, I'm looking over here. 319. Okay, 188. 27. 165. 154, 306 is top 350. Got good enough at recruiting that I can go after top players. Now the only thing about this is the rankings do change throughout the year, but getting guys in the top 350, 95% of them will remain at least in the top 1,000. probably 80-85% of them will stay in the top 600 or 700, and most of them will stay in the top 350. Okay. Still in the West region. You just start checking that every once in a while. The cost goes up a lot once you go outside of your region and really outside of your state. So if I still have any vacancy on my list, oh, I didn't mean to hit call player, but how about give me 5 minutes of your time? Cool. Marcus Thompson, we're having a chat. Your parents have a lot of influence over you, so hopefully they'll like me. Neither went to college, and you're from Lowell, Oregon. I've coached a baseball tournament in Lowell, and absolutely got slaughtered. We were overmatched, power especially. They had some power players. That was youth baseball. It wasn't anything major. Alright, still in a region. Still filling out the 350s. Number 97. Anyway, so if I still have some space left, because you have kind of a max size to your list, I will look at the guys from Oregon and see if there's anybody else top 500-ish. That'll be a lot cheaper to try to recruit and hope that they're making moves up over time. And then maybe Washington from there, which would be the next cheapest. Hopefully I haven't missed anyone. Actually a bit tired. It's been incredibly hot. We've had a nearly record breaking heat wave. It's at the time of recording, it's still July. And we've already had 15 days over 90 degrees. And the yearly average is 12. Yearly. We still have August to go. We still usually get 2 or 3 in September. The majority of those 12 each year come in August. Usually there's probably 6 to 7, maybe 8 every August. And it's still July. It's been a hot one this year, and it's been the length. We're in the midst of a 9 straight days of 90 plus degree weather, and it was only below that for 2 days, and before that it was 3 or 4 straight days. So we're gonna top 20 90-degree days by the end of this streak, I believe. Something like that. And I don't have air conditioning, because I'm a cheapskate like that. And I don't mind it when it's a couple of days. You can manage, you can plan, you can deal. But this long of a streak really adds up, because it's hard to cool your home off, cool it down at night when you don't get that break. Or it requires some careful planning, like staying up late, because you really don't want to leave your windows open overnight. So stay up late, wake up early. That leads to a lot of sleepless nights. And then it's hot at night anyway, so, you know, hey, there's that. Alright, this has taken a while, but we should be just about through the list of top 350 players. as we are still going through the West region. So for now, anyway, we are on target. $351. It's a point guard, which I don't need, so we'll not add him to the list. Ooh, number 18. Alaska. Another one from Alaska. Ooh. Skipped one. And you. And you. Mexico. You are just outside of the top 350. And from Hawaii, which comes with some higher costs. Wyoming, is that... Are you West region? Or Central? You're top 50 though, so we'll put you in. Yeah, okay, you're still West, because otherwise I would have been out of it by now. Okay, just confirm that Wyoming is considered West region. Really got to be close to the end of the West region here. Ooh, skipped one. And my list is full, so he doesn't fit. So even with top 350, I'm not getting everyone. Now, see, I want to get this guy on the list. Phil Runyon. Let's see where I'm at on the list, because you didn't show me Phil Runyon. Let's get to the bottom of the WE is West. There's the end of the list. Runyon. Oh, I'm on the last 4 guys on the list. Let's see. And you are from Oregon, so I would want to get you on the list. And you're number 255. So I'd like to get all 3 of them on the list, which means I need to drop a couple players off the list. Where are you from? Washington. Alaska. Just inside the top. Let's take you off the list. There's 1. Need 2 more. Guys just inside the top 350 that are from far, far away. Alright, I guess we need to do it this way. Am I watching? There we go. Get to the bottom of the list. Any point guards? Shaw, 298. Okay, he can go. Barron's 224. That's pretty good. Yeah, we'll get him off first. Okay, that should be enough to get those last few guys. So I need to cancel that list, go back to update. That's everybody. It takes a moment. Region West. And they stayed the same. Good. So get these 3 guys. Onion, Sola, and Patterson. Alright, so I have a fully populated list, maxed out, despite not taking any centers at all. We'll finish this first week of recruiting, and then we'll get there. Now, interest unknown, attributes totally unknown because I saved money on that package. So we only have a couple guys just inside the top 350, and then almost everybody's inside the top about 310. I always start from the top, and we'll watch film on the first 10 guys. It's quiet period, so there's no scouting live. And I'm not going to host anyone when I know nothing about them. This will start developing an overview of their attributes. I'd actually prefer if the game didn't instantly give you all of them at once, that it just kind of sorted them out a few at a time, the way it does on like the call list. The way that this information comes kind of a piece at a time. And then in that it wouldn't change quite so frequently. That way you're taking your time to develop a look. Alright, first guy already willing to give us his time. That's that nice strong scouting ability that I have now, or recruiting ability. Not scouting necessarily. And we already got our first guy all the way down. School prestige matters a lot. That's bad for me. Conference prestige matters a lot. He is not going to be interested in playing for us. Number 18, recruit in the country. And I've wasted time on these guys before. I'm not going to do that this season. There's no way this guy's going to sign for me. What matters to him, we don't have. So I'm just going to take him off the list. And be grateful that I was able to get through to him so quickly and easily. Nice. We at least got through to him. So, trying to develop my recruiting a little bit tactically, getting smarter as I'm better at it. You can see I'm going after a much wider range of players from all over the West region, not just Oregon and Washington like I was before. And it's starting to bear fruit as I'm getting better and better recruits like last season.
You have new man.
Alright, well, I do not know yet who I'll end up with, but there's that first look, and on first look, 9 out of these 10 players, which are all ranked in the top 55 in the nation, are A's. So if I can get 1 or 2 of these guys to sign, that would be pivotal in our success. One thing I also need to start looking at is 2.0 GPAs aren't going to make it. It's not going to cut it. He's not going to qualify for our school. So maybe I need to start going with players only about 2.3 and above that have at least some hope of qualifying. He's not going to have a 960 SAT score. I can almost guarantee it. 99%. Anyway, I will continue to evolve this. I will continue to get my recruiting for the season underway. You've seen lots of recruiting in episodes, so I will see you when the season gets started again next week. But that does it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.